So first today we're going to go ahead and start with the first item that we recommend putting inside your family emergency kit. And this is your basic first aid kit. It comes with 52 pieces inside, many of which you would need in an emergency. Your basic alcohol swabs, bandages, any type of bandages that you would need for different cuts on the body. This is a great item to just start with and have for a basic kit. So for the first item, this is what you'd want to put inside your family emergency kit. Our next item, which we think is very important to have in your emergency kit, are gloves. And gloves can come in handy for a variety of reasons. For simple things to keep your hands warm, or to be able to pick up items that might be dangerous to touch with your skin. Having a pair of gloves, even two, is highly recommended to have in your emergency kit. They can come in handy for several different reasons, and you can never really run out of a good pair of gloves in an emergency. Our next item on the list is your average duct tape. Duct tape is very important, can be used in many different situations, especially in an emergency. Duct tape can be used to fasten items, can be used in certain medical situations if you need to prepare an emergency sling, and the tape can also be molded together to create something to hold water into as well. So duct tape has an amazing amount of uses. It's recommended that you have this absolutely in your emergency kit and ready to go if something happens. You'll be very happy that you included this in your kit. So duct tape is a definite for your family emergency kit. Next item is a standard drop cloth. Nothing special about it, just a drop cloth made of plastic that can be used for, again, several different scenarios. It could be used as a tarp if you're outdoors and you need to protect yourself from rain. This can be also used to collect water if you needed to, by creating a low point with a hole in the center to have that water drip from rainfall. And this, definitely consider having a rolled up plastic drop cloth for all of those situations that may arise. We'll get into our next item, which is a standard can opener. A lot of people may forget to keep this in your go bag or family emergency kit. And the reason why this is important is obviously for opening cans. A lot of times we will prepare and have food on hand for emergencies, and it's canned, non-perishable foods. Can be purchased anywhere, just a standard can opener. As I was mentioning, it's very important to build these family emergency kits based on your needs. And you want to think of everyone in your family, and don't forget your pets. As you think about putting items in here like a can opener, flashlight, don't forget items that your pet may need. Have pet food, emergency items that that animal may need if you need to leave your house, and have those ready inside your go kit or your family emergency kit, so that when it's time to go, everyone is taken care of and you can just go. The next item that we want to talk about too, as we put this flashlight back in the bin, is toilet paper. Toilet paper is an essential item to have in an emergency. Remember, you may not be able to get to stores. You may not be able to go and purchase things that you have not thought about that you may need. Having just an extra roll of toilet paper inside your family emergency kit will save you a lot of time and trouble, and it'll alleviate that worry of not having what you need. So something simple like this can go a long way, but essential thing to have. Next, we'll talk about glow sticks. Glow sticks are an added feature to our kit, and we recommend these for several reasons. In a dark situation where there are no lights, one of these glow sticks can be lit up and can light up a room perfectly. They last for a very long time and are very simple to use. So having a couple of these in your family emergency kit or your go kit can help you in a situation where you may be outdoors, maybe your flashlight has just died, the batteries are no longer working in it. You know you can rely on these glow sticks. You can snap them, light them up, and use them in a dark situation, and they last for quite a long time. It's also a good indicator if you are out. Let's say you're in the woods or in an area where people can't find you. By lighting one of these up and attaching it to your person makes you easier to identify. Obviously, these are up to you, but we're going to put these back in our family emergency kit. Next item is a 2-band radio. Very simple. This is your key to be able to hear what is going on during an emergency. If power does go out, if communications are down, being able to know what's going on is one of the most crucial things in an emergency. Having a way to be able to listen is even more important. So what we included in here is just a standard dual band radio. It runs off of 2 AA batteries. There are other ones out there that have a hand crank that you can generate power long enough to get information from. There's so many varieties. What we are trying to let you know is that having something that you can listen to the radio, to listen to frequencies, and be able to listen to the emergency management alerts that come out is important. So always, always, always have some type of radio or communication device that you can listen in to get the latest alerts and news. Some other items that we'll talk about here that we have put together are, along with the toilet paper, you also want to think about having toiletries, things that you would need if you are out of your house or you're without power for several days. Maybe you have to be in a shelter. So many different things can happen during an emergency. And what we try to do is think of things that you may need during that emergency and keep them ready to go. These are just individual bags that we have put together with some items inside. There's a hair comb, there's a small bar of soap, a toothbrush, there is a razor, and there's also toothpaste in there. In an emergency, these little things can go a long way to just make you feel as though you are okay. Being able to do something that you normally do every day during an emergency can just bring a normal sense to you, better for you. But that's what we recommend, having all these items in this bucket. Our next item, we have just some personal effects here. We have latex gloves, we have hand sanitizer, pocket tissues, we also have masks, and there's also a whistle in this bag. A whistle is very important. Sometimes people don't think about that. It's good to have in your emergency kit. If you are ever in a situation where you are lost or you're out in the woods, let's say you've gone hiking, this is a way for people to hear you. Much like the glow stick that gives a visual, everyone can hear a whistle. So if you're ever in an emergency and you need to alert people to where you are, a whistle is a great way to do that. It can notify people of danger, safety issues. So it's always good to have a whistle in your bag. This is just some simple items. Again, you can add to this, put in items in here that you would feel comfortable with having in an emergency, and just keep them ready. You can never have enough latex gloves, so don't be afraid to grab a handful of them and put them in this bag. They come in handy, especially in situations where you may be helping someone with an injury. So consider these things and have these in your bag as well. You may also want to put a container of aspirin or ibuprofen in here for yourself too, or your family. Think of things that, that you may need in an emergency situation if you're not at home. And that's what goes in these bags. So personalize these to you, your family, your pets, and then you'll be much happier if an emergency happens and you have to open this kit and see what's in there. You'll be happy that you thought of these things ahead of time. So we'll put this right back in here and we'll move on to our next item. If anyone knows what this is a potable water storage container. Now, obviously you could use this for different liquids, but it's made for water. In an emergency where our water may be affected, or maybe a boil notice, or water is just not healthy to drink, this is a way to store water and take it with you. You may have some gallons of water in your fridge, some bottled water. Rather than having to take all of those with you, you could fill this container and bring this with you as well. One other reason, and we recommend keeping this in your emergency kit, is that if you are in a situation where you didn't have the opportunity to bring water with you, or where you are going there is not water available to just have readily available, you could also bring this to a location where they are providing fresh water, drinkable water, and fill this and bring it with you to either the shelter or wherever you may be. This can hold the water in there and keep it for you so that you can drink it when you need it. So these can be purchased pretty much anywhere. Consider having one in your family emergency kit. in case you would need it. We'll put this back in our kit. And the last thing on the same topic as what we were talking about, water is very important, not just for us, for our pets. We need it to live. In emergencies, when they happen, we don't know what type of emergency it will be. We don't know what may be affected, but what we do know is no matter what, water is needed. If you can't be home and you can't access the water from your sink or bottled water in your refrigerator, and you have to go to some place where water's not available, these are water packets. Just like your drink boxes that you give to kids for school, same thing, just with water. And one of these is equipped with a little over 4 ounces of water. It's recommended 2 of these a day would be your water servings. We have added approximately 12 in our kit. That is, what we would recommend having in there, but obviously these are for your pets, for you, for anyone in your family. We went over a lot of things today in our family emergency kit, and the goal of this is to provide you with just some ideas on what we feel is important for you to take with you if you ever have to leave in an emergency. One thing we want to remind everybody, we've talked about it a couple of times, is this Go Kit, this family emergency kit, is exactly what it says, family. So when you build this, have your family with you, talk to them, think of things that they would want to add into this, things that they need, things that you really can't go without if you have to be out of your home for several days. So have a family discussion, talk about what you're putting in here, make sure you have what you need. And hopefully we never have to use it, but if you do, you're going to be very, very happy that you talked to your family and put a plan together and everything that you need to make it in an emergency.